Thanks, Cody.
Oh, you guys. Yep.
All right, thanks guys for being here. So we want to talk to you a little bit about the evolution of a career. So we want you to think back to when you're little and how do you start thinking about a career up until today and then into your future as well. So I'm Ashley, I work in the Monte Vista Workforce Center.
And I'm Edith. I work in the Alamosa Workforce Center.
And you will learn a little bit more about us as this presentation goes on. So, hey guys, how's it going? We want to set you up for success. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about ourselves and our experiences and how we got to where we're at today. But first, we want to talk to you about how does a career evolve. So there's going to be a few things that we talk about here. The very first thing is your interests and hobbies. And this goes all the way back to when you guys were little guys. Think back to, kindergarten, preschool, back to when people started asking you, well, what do you think you want to do when you grow up? And back then, you guys were dreaming big. You were thinking I want to be an astronaut, the president, all these different opportunities. And maybe some of you still have those different things you want to do. Maybe you don't. Maybe they've changed a little bit over the years. I know for myself, I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was little. And if you don't know what that is, it's somebody who works in the oceans with the different fish and animals down there. But there's no ocean near Colorado, and there's also, I can't swim all that well. So decided maybe that's not gonna work for me.
So yeah, like Ashley was saying, it's really important to think about your interests, your hobbies, what you're passionate about. And then sometimes this could turn into a first job. Many times that's not the case. So first jobs are usually, maybe fast food or a restaurant, some kind of store, grocery store. And so these jobs are really essential in being able to help you build for your future. So they really help to set you up with some of those soft skills. So things like responsibility, being on time, making sure you show up to work, learning how to work with different people. My first job was working at a family restaurant, and so I was a waitress, did some busing, hostessing, that kind of thing, and so it really taught me to work with a lot of different people. So a lot of the times these are also helpful because they show us what we won't want to do or what we don't want to do for the rest of our lives. So a lot of learning experiences go on in our first jobs.
Now, you want to start thinking about college majors. I know that might be somewhat in the future for you guys, but it's never too early to start thinking about what you want to start doing. Edith mentioned doing your first jobs, you learn what you don't want to do and what you really don't like. College majors are your next step, and don't feel completely pressured to know what you want to do, because as we're talking about, this evolves. Things are not set in stone. Minds change, things change, life changes. So college majors, you can start off doing a general education degree, you can start off in a technical school, or maybe college isn't for you at all. But you do want to start thinking since now about, maybe this might be what I want to start looking into. Portion might help you guys do that.
And then along with that, as you're kind of navigating through school, through college, learning what you want to possibly pursue, you also are faced with the option to possibly do some internships or work study opportunities. And these are also great to help you think about what kinds of things you like, what you want to explore some more. Internships are really great. Sometimes you could end up with a paid internship. So not only do you get experience and get to learn more about the career that you're interested in, but you also get maybe some money, perks on the side. Some internships offer like a scholarship, so it just kind of depends what you're looking for. And work study opportunities are kind of along the same idea. They really help get you in there and get you some experience while you're in college. And the good thing with work studies is they're really flexible and they work with you while you're still in school. So those are definitely some more experiences that are eye-opening and can set you up to look at those different opportunities.
So now we want to talk about your first job out of college, or maybe for those of you that college isn't quite for you, your first job out of high school. Now, a lot of times this is just a stepping stone job. It's not true for everybody. There's some people like your teachers or your healthcare professionals that jump right into what they're career is going to be for the rest of their lives. But for most of us people, our first job out of college is not quite what you want to do for the rest of your life, but it's going to help you get to that experience and get those opportunities to move on to whatever you choose next for your life.
And then just like with everything else in life, you know, careers, things happen sometimes. You run into something unexpected, like Ashley was talking about, you change your mind, maybe you're not sure what you want to do. So life happens and it's completely okay. Not everybody's journey takes the same path. You know, not everybody takes 4 years in college. Maybe it'll take you 5 or 6, and that's totally fine. Or maybe you'll finish in 3, which is great too. That's awesome. And so not everybody's path looks the same, and that's okay. Life happens, things happen. Sometimes, you know, we're not able to pursue the plans that we have, but it's going to be okay.
So this is us at a glance. As I said, I'm Ashley Mestas. A little bit more about myself. I'm a labor and employment specialist with the Monte Vista Workforce Center, the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment.
And same thing for me, just in Alamosa, the Department of Labor and Employment at the Alamosa Workforce Center.
So I'm up first. This is just a little bit about me. So, you know, excuse the busy slide, but we wanted to put some things on there about different opportunities and what we've gone through in our lives. So just going back to high school for me, jobs, had a ton of different jobs. I did a lot of labor work. My dad had a ranch, so I was cleaning ditches, I was bucking bales, I was doing all the stuff that I knew I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. Then I got a job tutoring at the school, which was awesome. I was getting paid well. I was getting to work with a lot of the students, which I still love doing. And I enjoyed it. I worked all summer long. I worked all year long doing tutoring, and it was one of the funner things that I had the opportunity to do. And I also did some waitressing. It was one of those kind of first job things that we talked about. You get the experience. Again, you know, it's not something you want to do for the rest of your life, but it paid my bills. It paid my vehicle. It paid my gas. It got me to McDonald's every once in a while. So it was just a fun thing to do. And it was great while it lasted. But plans did change. And in high school, I thought I wanted to go into the medical field. I had my heart set on being either a pediatrician or a nurse. And I actually started college off that way. I got the Latin American Educational Foundation Colorado Student of the Year scholarship, which paid for my full 4 years. I also got the Gates Millennium Scholarship Foundation Award, which in addition to not only helping pay for everything, they paid me to be in college. So it was a good lump sum. I had a lot of great opportunities. So as you're thinking into colleges, also, you know, make sure that you're looking for all these different opportunities for the funding as well. I didn't have any debt in college, which was awesome. But my medical plans didn't quite work out. I had an internship opportunity at the Romp Clinic in Alamosa with Dr. Patrick Price. And I worked with him, working with some of the smaller kids. And once I had that opportunity, I really came to realize that maybe this isn't for me. I don't quite have what it takes to be a doctor. And I'm not talking about, you know, I don't feel smart enough, not in that aspect. I just didn't feel that emotionally it was something I can handle. But I knew that I still wanted to work with kiddos. And through my scholarship opportunities, I was able to go on the field at the Rockies game. And you can see some of my pictures here. I was awarded in that way. I was able to work with different politicians. I met former President Barack Obama. I got to spend some time with him. I got to be and work with Congress for a little while, different opportunities to work with Bill Gates Sr. So through all of those, I found a love for government. So I know completely different from the medical thing, but that's ultimately what I ended up pursuing. I got a major in government with a minor in my biology. And things happened in college and I had my first child. So I wasn't your typical 4-year bachelor's graduate. It took me 5 years with my little one, and you can see our little picture there. She was 2 when I graduated. And best thing ever, my first and only child, love her to death. And then with her and knowing that, you know, I had to support her, I started my first career, my first job out of college. And that was with the Training Advantage. And they are actually within the Workforce Center as well. So I haven't moved offices in the past 8 years. But I had my first opportunity with them being a career counselor and case manager. And I had the opportunity to work with a lot of high school and college youth, which I completely love doing, and as you can see, I'm still doing it. And then I did have a career change a couple of years ago, and I started working for the state of Colorado within the same office within the Workforce Center, just in a different role. So it is something that I love doing, but I did decide while I'm here, I wanted to go to college again. And I just graduated in May with my Master's of Public Administration, still following that governmental route, still, looking for different opportunities with that. Like I said, I've had some great opportunities to meet with a lot of different politicians. So you never know. Even at my age, guys, I'm in my 30s. Things change, ideas change. So who knows where I'll be in a couple of years. I may still be here, I may not. It just really depends. And life has a big factor to do with that.
That's awesome. Thanks, Ashley. It's kind of cool to look at all the different pictures and experiences that you've had. So then here's a little bit about me. I am a first generation in this country. My parents actually came here from Mexico, but I was born here and I've lived here my whole life. There's a picture of my family. We like soccer, and so we went to a game a few years ago. That was a lot of fun. And I'm from a small town in Aguascalientes, or my parents are from a small town in Aguascalientes called Calvillo. And so that's one of the times that I went to vacation there. And so growing up, as a Hispanic student in the Valley was a really interesting experience. I was put to work really young. Like I had mentioned before, my first job was at our family restaurant. And so I was a waitress, hostess, washed dishes, made guacamole, salsa, whatever needed to be done. And so that taught me a lot of different responsibilities, and I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity. But like Ashley said, I knew that I didn't want to be a waitress forever. And so then I kind of added some of my different job experiences here for you, and I kind of broke it up into the 3 different parts that I've had in my life so far. So after we were done with our family business, I actually started babysitting. Like Ashley, I also wanted to be a pediatrician. I love kids. They're like my favorite thing ever. It's probably one of my biggest passions is kids. So I really enjoyed babysitting. It was awesome. And that also taught me a lot of responsibility. When you're in charge of a little one, that's a lot of responsibility. Afterwards, kind of like the last summer that I was in high school, I got a job as a receptionist at a real estate office. That was something a little bit different than what I was used to. So that was kind of my first clerical position, doing office work, working with the computer, answering phone calls, emails, and it was a lot of fun. I learned about the real estate market, the real estate business. Eventually, I graduated high school from Alamosa, here born and raised, go me moose now. And so then I started college. I stayed here locally. I decided to go to Adams State. It had everything that I was looking for. It was affordable, and I mean, you can't get closer to home than 5 minutes away. So I actually majored in biology. Again, I was thinking about the pre-med route. I wanted to be a doctor, and that was what I was going to pursue. So I had a lot of jobs during college. That was probably the time that I was the busiest. I had a job with admissions as a work study, and then a student ambassador, and eventually a lead student ambassador. So I got to give tours to families and students when they came to visit, and that was a lot of fun. And then within my major, I also became a chemistry teaching assistant. So I got to mix some chemicals together, get all the materials ready for labs, grade some of the labs that the students worked on, assist the professors with whatever they needed. And then I kind of stepped out of the science field and did something a little bit different. So in high school, I was always in yearbook. I love doing graphic design. That's also one of my favorite things to do. I really enjoy putting things together. So I worked for the school newspaper as a section editor, and then eventually an associate editor. And then finally, I was editor-in-chief of the paper. So I was with the newspaper throughout my whole college career. And then something even a little more different, I got to experience a retail position. So I worked at Maurice's as a stylist. I love shopping, I love clothes and fashion. So that was a really, really fun job. Totally different from anything that I had done before, started thinking about business and sales and numbers and that kind of thing, but then also really the customer service aspect. So all the jobs that I've had to deal with people, and I'm a big extrovert, so I've really enjoyed working with the public in different settings. And then another kind of cool job that I had an opportunity to do an internship with the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus in Denver. And so it was here in the Valley. We did some water collection. It was a water study, so I got to do that also for my experience, and it was really neat to be able to do that. So eventually I did graduate from college. Took me 4.5 years, so it did not take me 4, not the normal time. So after 4.5 years, I graduated from college. I don't have very good pictures of that, so here's one of me kind of sitting there looking kind of confused, but I finished college, which was awesome. The day before my college graduation, I found out that I actually got my first job, which was within the university, working for camp at ASU. So the camp program helped migrant students, pursue higher education, and I really felt a connection to those students since I can see myself reflected in a lot of their experiences. So that was such an awesome job. I was there for 6 months, so not very long. And then this opportunity came about with the state, and I was really interested in it. I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different from Adams State, just because I had been at Adams State for the last 5 years of my life. And so when this opportunity came about, I applied. I didn't really think much of it. I wasn't sure if I would get the job, but now here we are, and I'm very happy to be working here. I've been here a little over a year now, and it's just a great job opportunity. I love helping people find work, and so I still have that connection with people. I'm still able to work with students, which I really love, and so we'll see what happens now. My sister and I just started our master's program, so hopefully in 2 years I'll get another chance at taking some better graduation pictures. And then just some other kind of extracurricular activities within college. We got to travel a lot, so there's a picture of me at the Washington Memorial, and I think we probably went to like 10 or 11 different cities and even other countries for free. So a lot of really great experiences with Adams State. And now I'm really happy to be working for the state of Colorado.
Awesome. It's good to hear about Edith's experiences as well. As you can tell, she's had a lot more different jobs than I have. So, things change a lot. And I failed to mention I'm a graduate from Centennial. So, down there in San Luis, tiny little town. But we want you guys to realize that there's local career opportunities available within the Valley. So a lot of the push is to get to the city nowadays, but it's not necessarily true. You don't have to. Edith and I found a passion for our communities and to remain within our communities. So we're both still here, and we've taken advantage of some of these career opportunities. And some of the bigger ones within our area, within the Valley in total, in general, is our healthcare field. Nurses, doctors, CNAs, LPNs, medical assistants, dental assistants, anything you can think of within the healthcare, that is huge in the Valley, and there's a huge need for it. We have, I'm going to show you guys on camera, we have a job list that we print out every single day. It has tons and tons of jobs. And a lot of these are going to be within your healthcare. We also have a ton of teaching positions available all throughout the Valley. That's a huge need as well. Our careers, vary widely with the egg industry. And there's a little picture of a cute little barn down there. But we have tons of egg, especially, here in the Rio Grande County area, Saguache County, even, all of them, Conejos, Costilla, Alamosa. There's agricultural work everywhere. And it's not just working on the field and doing those labor jobs, although those are completely needed. We have everything in between. If you guys get a CDL license, if you go on and get, your agribusiness, you can run one of these places. So tons and tons of opportunities with that. Police is another big one that we have. There's always a need for police officers, whether it be your local, your county, your state police, they are all needed and huge jobs that we have here, and they pay well. And then different office positions, tons of those available, whether you're looking to work within government, within the private sector, which is like private owned businesses, there's tons and tons of opportunity for that. And nowadays, what we're seeing within the past few months, especially with all of this COVID happening, is a lot of our different office jobs are not your traditional work 8 to 5 within the office. It's working partly at home as well. So, you know, that might be huge for some of you guys that want to start a family later on in life or have different things going on. There's a lot of possibilities. And I'm sure as we move on from this and we start, you know, finding cures for what's going on right now, we're not going to lose that need for the work at home individuals. We've learned that people can be just as functional from their homes as they can be in their office buildings. So lots and lots of opportunity, and we really do encourage you guys to reach out to us individually. We'll have our contact information at the end. So if you guys have questions about what you want to do later on in life, if you have any type of questions about what's going on here or anything in between that's related to working, to getting ready for work, whatever it may be, college, any of those, let us know, reach out to us. We don't bite, we promise. We're here for you guys. So, you know, like I say, just please reach out. There's tons of opportunity here.
Yeah, so now we kind of want you to think a little bit about the things that we've discussed, but also your own journey, your own path that you've gotten to this far. You know, you still have a lot of life left, but think about maybe things that you're passionate about or how your career choices have evolved over the years. Think about how they continue to evolve as you're going through high school, getting ready to start college, and then into the future. And then also think about your family members, their career opportunities, you know, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anybody else that you have in your life, kind of their career choices and changes and the things that they've been through in the last few years or throughout their careers.